Welcome inside the Next One studio. Colin Brown, delighted to be joined by Bowling Green's Justin Turner this afternoon, the redshirt junior, a two-time first-team All-MAC selection, over 18 points a game in 2019-2020. Justin, first and foremost, man, how are you, and what have you been able to do to stay in touch with the game here during this odd time with the coronavirus?
Colin, first, thanks for having me, man, and really just been trying to stay productive as possible. It can get kind of easy. Days get kind of repetitive, man. You're doing the same thing every day, lose track of the days. So really just been, going to these outside courts that's at my apartment complex, getting some shots up, going to the hill, going to the track, trying to mix it up, be creative with it, just stay productive as possible. So when the time come back, be ready to get back in the gym and do some team workouts and things like that.
Yeah, Justin, it's been so interesting, as I talked about earlier when me and you were chatting, to hear from all these guys around the country, how they're staying in shape, staying in tune with the game. You've obviously had so much success on the court here at Bowling Green, but let's take it back to the days of high school. How was your recruiting process? What was that like? And obviously, how'd you end up at Bowling Green?
Well, my recruiting process was up and down. It was like a roller coaster because it started off pretty well. But my sophomore year, I was getting recruited by most of the MAC. They were starting to offer me and things like that. And then I had a good junior season. So high majors were starting to kind of come in contact with me and the people close around me. I had switched AAU teams after my junior season for that last spring season. So it really didn't work out. So a lot of teams didn't really see me play. So it just left a lot of questions that never really got answered. So a lot of teams walked away and things like that. So I kind of went back to the drawing board with my recruitment process. And I developed a relationship with assistant coach Stacy here at Bowling Green. He was originally at Toledo. I met him at a team camp. They offered me right on the spot at Toledo. I played like 3 games there. And then he called me and was like, now I'm at Bowling Green. So we always had a relationship, kept in contact. And it came down to Bowling Green, Buffalo, Kent State, and I thought Bowling Green was the best fit for me at the time.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a job you've done there on the floor. As mentioned, 18 points a game here as a junior, 2-time first-team All-MAC selection. But as we talked about earlier, your freshman season, you ended up redshirting, you were injured, you come back, then you're the freshman of the year after sitting out a year. Talk about those two combined. Obviously you sit out, got to improve, but I had to heal from the injury as well. And then once you got on the floor, it seemed like things really clicked for you individually.
Well, first, before I got hurt, we took an overseas trip to Italy. And I actually played pretty well. I started off starting by the end of that trip. And, I thought that was real beneficial. But, when I got hurt, it took a minute for me to weigh all the options because at first I really didn't want to redshirt because I just wanted to play, and I felt like I could have made an impact right away. But when I redshirted, I got to really sharpen up on things that I never probably would have focused on, like the mental preparation before a college game, what it takes to be prepared for the game, taking care of your body, getting enough sleep, and just things like that. And also just stuff on the court as well. That's just important, like playing hard and playing defense and communicating. So, it definitely taught me a lot, even though at first I didn't want to do it, but it was a blessing in disguise and it all worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. It has worked out. You've had some terrific seasons there at Bowling Green. Let's go back to last year. You declare for the NBA draft after the season. Obviously, come back to school in the long run, but what did you learn from that process when you were talking with scouts, front offices, coaches? What advice did they give you, and how did you translate taking that to the floor?
Well, I figure it was like two sides. It was the side of the actual basketball stuff, keep getting my 3-ball more consistent, getting stronger, a little bit more athletic, more of a leader and things like that. And then, you see the side of the competition aspect of I want to say 351 Division I colleges maybe, and everybody want to go to the NBA. So when you get there and be with the best of the best, it kind of gives you a different perspective of, everybody trying to make it. Another thing that helped out was when I went to CP3 camp with the top guards in the country. So just things like that, when you go to those national predicaments, it just shows you that, everybody want to do it, and you're not accomplished yet. So still had a lot to work on, and I got better from that.
Yeah, so much talent out there, and obviously that was displayed this season for you guys at Bowling Green and in the MAC in general. Obviously, I talked to a bunch of guys across the country, but not all of them have had the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament or play on a team like you guys had this past season that was right there competing for a conference title and a chance to get into the dance. You guys were obviously just so close, and then all of a sudden coronavirus hits, conference tournament, NCAA tournament canceled. What was the feeling you guys had? Obviously, when we spoke earlier, you said you thought it was coming, that it would get canceled, but what was the mood like once that official news came down?
Man, it was very disappointing. We just all sat in the room where we had previously just ate our pregame meal. Getting ready. We already went to the Cleveland Cavaliers arena, had our shoot around, so everybody was just getting mentally prepared for the game. And then we was listening to the commissioner of the MAC just talking. We knew it was coming sooner or later, especially, the night before with the NBA and then other conferences canceling. So we knew it was coming, just had to kind of let reality sit in. And it kind of hurt because, just knowing that everything that was at stake and all the work we put in over the summer, fall, and winter. So, it was very disappointing.
Yeah, it's a year-round process, which I'm sure you can attest to, that starts now, obviously preparing for the next season. And obviously after this season was over, you made headline news, put your name in the transfer portal. At the end of the day, you decide to go back to Bowling Green, but talk about that process. I'm sure you were getting blown up on a daily basis by coaching staffs from all over the country. And at the end of the day, why did you decide to stay there at Bowling Green?
Yeah, so initially, man, the process was crazy. I entered the portal. I get an email saying that, 2 or 3 days ago by then my name will officially be entered the portal, man. So I'm thinking I'm good and I can prepare myself for whatever that's coming. And then, I walk away from my phone, come back, and I got about 30 missed calls. And it was like that for probably the whole time I was in the portal for until the last week. So it could be some calls that I still probably didn't even know that I got. But, it was crazy. Me and the people around me, we did a good job at setting a standard, what we was looking for. Didn't just want to go to the biggest name possible just because, wanted to go somewhere where I could really see myself playing, and I wanted to be realistic about where I could go. So when I narrowed that last four or five, that was either a situation that I felt like I can probably benefit from, or was a situation where I know that I'd be able to play my best. So when I got to those last schools, it was really just what I thought was best for me and my play.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, tremendous season moving forward here, going into your final season. What is the plan, though? Obviously, let's say things kind of turn around and you'll be able to get back in the gym. What are your summer plans here moving forward? Obviously, one of the top guards in college basketball. Have there been people reaching out about certain summer camps or places to go to play over the summer?
Yeah, a few people reached out. Got people from like Vegas and California, different people that got little organizations that do things for player development and things like that with certain connections. Definitely reached out. At this point, I don't really know because I feel like everything is just uncertain right now.
Sure.
So and I would probably have to get back to my college campus first, where we actually doing summer stuff together before I get to traveling, and then everything. It's just so much that going into everything right now, so it's just everything's uncertain. Just really taking it one step at a time and trying to get back to like team stuff first.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here with Justin Turner of Bowling Green. Justin, finally, before I let you go, a couple more questions here. First off, you guys had obviously a terrific season, a terrific team in 2019-2020. What are the goals, expectations you guys are looking to accomplish in 2021? Obviously, you'll be at the forefront, a leader, one of the best guards we have in college basketball leading the way.
Yeah, no, our goal is just to win the MAC championship and get in the NCAA tournament. You know, we not only want to get there, we want to compete. One thing we stressed on this past year. Like, if we get there, you know, we're not just happy to be there. You know, we felt like we could have competed with anybody. You know, we lost to LSU in the tight game, beat Cincinnati, beat Western Kentucky, who we thought was tournament teams. So, you know, this year is going to be the same thing. We got, you know, a good fair amount of people coming back. So we're going to be experienced. And, you know, I feel like our whole team know what's at stake and know that we didn't get the shot this year. So we know that we still feeling the loss from the Buffalo championship game. So I feel like everybody knows what's at stake. And that's really our only goal, is to win the championship and get in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think you guys were more than capable of making a run in the NCAA tournament. It would have been a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, new goals for next season upcoming, like you said, kind of get back to that groove and get things rolling. Couple more for you here. First off, you know, I ask players this from around the country all the time. Couple guys at the next level. Who do you idolize? Who do you model your game after here from the NBA ranks?
That's a good question. I modify my game after C.J. McCollum and Lou Williams. I feel like those are two guys about the same size. You know, C.J.'s a mid-major dude. Sure, he had a lot of challenges and unanswered questions about him. But just two guys that we were on the same size, kind of natural scorers, but still, you know, make the right play, get people involved, and can still run an offense, you know, bring the ball up, put people in the right positions and different things like that. So those are two big ones that I kind of revamp my game at.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2 stars in their own right. Obviously, you terrific season on campus here. Justin, the three-point line was moved back this season in college basketball. I know that's something when we spoke earlier, you said you're continuing to improve upon, is pulling up from deep. Was that something that you thought was a big change in the game, obviously not only for you guys, but for teams that you faced off against? Or was it something you noticed, I guess, when you were out there on the floor?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to say that it wasn't something that was just me personally, that I didn't pay attention to, because one, they did it when I declared for the draft, so I was practicing everything from the NBA three-point line anyway, so it wasn't the most difficult adjustment. But I think across college basketball was definitely like something to get adjusted to at first, just knowing where your feet are. You know, a lot of people, it wasn't the same thing as them just catching and just knowing they on the three-point line. Kind of, you know, it's a couple steps back. So I feel like college basketball adjusted pretty well, though, and I think it's going to be an even better improvement from next year and so far on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seemed like a lot of guys still had a ton of success with that, obviously moving back closer to the NBA line here moving forward. It looks like it should continue to pay dividends. But I'll let you go with this. Obviously, you're there, Bowling Green. The MAC. Talk about the MAC for the average fan out there. Night in, night out. Obviously, one of the most competitive mid-major conferences we have. There's some great teams and some teams that have made deep runs in March. Talk about what it's like going up against these guys night in and night out.
Man, the MAC is tough. It's any given night, 1 through 12, anybody can win it. You know, I think there was a stat at one point where every game was decided within 5 points. So literally from the first place team to the last place team, you know, you never know what you get yourself into. Anybody can be beat. And, you know, it's not a conference where it's just 1-2 teams that's, you know, at the top. It's literally everybody is deep and everybody got good players, and it's tough. So every night you really got to bring your hard head and come ready to play.
Yeah, absolutely. As mentioned, one of the best mid-major leagues we have. Justin Turner, one of the best guards we have in college basketball. Justin, stay safe, man. I hope the family's well. I appreciate you joining us here this afternoon. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Colin. Thanks for having me. Stay safe.